Okay, folks, this is our newest trailer. It's an Allmand, I believe it's a Night Light Pro, and came home to us on Monday. Bought it on an auction on Friday, and you can see a couple of its features. Not very big, a little bit rusty. The little tube, aluminum tube in the middle to the left, is a place for Wisconsin documentation. Fortunately, we're not in Wisconsin, so we don't need it. First thing we did on the tongue is we went to Harbor Freight and put a second one of their wheeled jacks next to the current one. Notice the pintle hitch, need a special adapter for that. We also found why the one of the brake lights wasn't working, and you can see, hopefully, there's a broken wire, the green one, which I think is related to the I believe it was the right turn that was not working. So it has a 3-point jack system, but it's just one of the ones with the plates, and those are hard to wheel around in the garage. So Tim came up with this, Tim Newey. You just get a second Harbor Freight jack, put it next to the other one, and now you can roll it around. And when you get to the site and need to jack up the trailer and have it be a steady 3-point lift, that's what you do. So some other things we can look at. There is a lot of dirt, and we also found, digging around, a motorhome type 3-wire plug, and we also found there's the battery. The battery actually looks pretty good. I was impressed. There's a homemade rubber cover made out of a piece of hose to cover the battery terminal. That was pretty neat. There's the winch. Again, lots and lots of dirt. Notice it says diesel, probably more than once someone's tried to put gas in it. And there's the engine and the radiator fan. Now it has an aftermarket fender. That's the right-hand side fender going to facing forward. There's the trailer jack on the right-hand side. Looks sort of okay. However, it doesn't go in. Move this carefully. It doesn't go in very well, and it came out 2 more feet driving down the freeway coming here, which might explain why the problem we have. There's the right hand light that wasn't working, but I think it is. We'll just keep going here. There's the vent in the back. Notice the other jack is missing, and my working theory right now is that the jack worked itself loose on the freeway, came out, and just flat out disappeared. So again, going back in, a little dusty. Again, it's a 3-cylinder Kubota. Don't know if it runs, just brought it home. And something interesting to notice, the bell on the engine is pretty large, and I think it's probably an early pancake generator. There's, near as we can tell, several sizes of the bells connecting the engine to the generator. This is the larger one. Our older Overlow, the 1985 Overlow, has the larger bell. The newer trailers have the smaller bell. And there's the generator, and that's the crank-up winch, and there's the electrical box, and the starter, and there's the dual 20-amp circuits to pull power off the generator. Clearly, and the switches for the lights. Clearly, the advantage to this one, a lot of these have the 3-wire 240, which is really pretty useless for most ham radio stuff unless you're running a linear amplifier. This one has a new jack, which is kind of nice on it, and I haven't really looked at the cable. Then looking at the top, we've got 1, 2, 3 lights, and we've got the T mount here across the top. And notice that we have the famous magnetic trailer light set, Harbor Freight, $22.95 on sale. And that gets us home and away from prison for not having the correct lights. We pick these up, and I see at least 1 ground rod clamp, and those are nice for grounding the trailer when the generator's running or even not. And then one last thing we can point out, the rotation. So these towers generally rotate frequently at the bottom, and there's a little rotation clamp assembly there. we think this one is 24 feet according to the specs. However, the actual length of the tower is 30 feet, or say 10 feet, and then you'd think that three 10-foot sections would fit together. So I'm thinking this might be longer than 24 feet as a spec. And of course, the poor thing could certainly use a coat of paint. And again, comparing it to the other one here in the garage, this is the Jolly Green generator, which is a significantly newer. This is a really a nice unit, and it has 30-foot tower. This one has 2 lights, and it has this really cool feature, which is an ability for an additional however many feet you want. I have 6 feet in there of 1.5 inch perforated tubing, which allows for the top of the antenna to be much, much higher. There's our antenna. It's a really quite a yucky tram, but it was cheap. I made a little mount for it on the side. It's got the galvanized winch. And again, this one has the normal fenders, and this one has a standard 2-inch ball hitch on it. This one has a really nice setup in the engine compartment. There's the diesel tank, and again, there's a pancake generator. And notice the bell is significantly smaller, and you can get an adapter, but that's one problem of going from the older units. We made a little toolbox. There's the 3 injectors, and you can tell the oil's been changed recently, and there's the radiator. They're all 1800 RPM, these diesels, but the diesels and the generators, I'm going to use the words semi-interchangeable as far as we know. And then this one has the again, there's the crank,